Hello. Thank you again one more time for coming to my channel and watching my unboxings. I hope that what I'm doing today will help a lot of people because it's got a variation of products here. Some superhero stuff, some magic stuff, or, things of the nature. Because here's the whole thing. I unboxed things, but I don't have anything really organized. Each box contains some special products in it. Some of them I don't even know. I haven't opened for years. So I opened up a little trunk I had, and in the trunk I found a lot of items today that are of different categories. So we're not just looking at one thing, but it's going to have a few items that are interesting. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the first item. Now, the first item I found in this box is a genuine original cup and balls. This one is not in the greatest condition, but it is an SS Adams product, probably from the 40s or 50s. The product itself is, it's in good shape and stuff, but I mean, the box itself, I guess time will show, wear and tear. Then I have another item, which is an original Las Vegas slot machines. Like I said, I collected this throughout the years, and this particular one is really, really cool. You can see the old fashioned on it, where I think it took it says 1, 5, and 10 cents. See there? Then I proceeded to, now this item, I think this is a newer version of it, but I have the more older one also. But this is a kryptonite. A Superman kryptonite. It appears inside the book Mail Order Mysteries. I'm not sure, like I said, if this is one of the, because I know I have a couple of them. It's not 100% sure on that particular item. But anyway, then I found this item too, which is one of the original Penn telescopes. This item was sold by almost every mail order company of the 1970s. It's a really nice item. It's not made of steel. It was like a plastic version, but it worked. It would be both say for example, this is a telescope this way. When you took it out and you went like this, it would become a microscope. So it was 2-in-1 type of thing. Sold by Johnson Smith, Honor House. Almost every mail order company sold it, and it was a good seller. It was not a bad item. Then I found in there, now this one is kind of, I treasure this one because this were my first X-ray glasses. And of course the other part of it broke off when I was young, and I have the leg, but the leg fell behind the box right now, so I didn't have time to really get it. But this X-ray glasses here, you can see it's the first generation because it'll say Honey Toy Industries. Where is it? I'm sorry. Yeah, made by right down here, Honey Toy Industries. So this is my very first of X-ray glasses that I got from the Johnson Smith company back in the day. So I kind of treasure these because they are my original. I also found this one particular thing here. It's one of the original gyroscopes. If you guys remember this stuff, it's a really nice piece too. It's old. I found this 2 Batmans. Not sure the date on them. In fact, I can't say. I know I can see the date because it's probably 80s. Yeah, 1988, I think it says. And this one here, which I'm not sure which is older, but as you can see, it's kind of like, it has the old Batman on it, I also found in there, for some reason, an SS Adams original Moneymaker. The Moneymaker. Remember the famous Moneymaker? I also have, and I'm kind of going from both sides because I didn't have enough space to put everything in here. This here is a version of the X-ray glasses, but this is when they became cardboard, and these were the ones for retail sale. One thing that distinguishes them is that the centerpiece is a little bigger on this particular variation. There's some later cardboard ones that actually had a little smaller hole, but everything is as it is, but it's still Transscience Corporation. Here is an original X-ray tube. Now, this is the first thing where Harold, the guy who invented the X-ray glasses, actually copied from. So this is a 1950s or 60s X-ray tube. I have one that's an SS Adams, but I have no idea what that is at this very second, so I'm not going to. Then I don't know. This is a B-52 bomber. I have no idea. Just something I got in the collection. So I'm just showing everything that was in it there. And I'm sure this is not that old either, but this is like a Spider-Man bank. So this little guy was in there too. Among the collection, I found one of the coffin bank. Now this coffin bank here came from Johnson Smith. It's the later one. I think I got this one in the mid-'80s from Johnson Smith. I also have one that I got from Johnson Smith, which is old metal. I'm looking for a box that has all my banks in it, and it has the Frankenstein hand, the mystery bank, a lot of them. Now, this particular model here is, again, it's a little older. You could tell, you know, the box. You see how it's kind of faded. It's not like in pristine condition, but it's that now. This other item here was sold by Johnson Smith for years. This is called the illusion thing, the Mirage. And what it is it kind of looks like a flying saucer. I'm going to open it if I can here because I have a... And what it does is you kind of put like a coin or something inside. Now, I don't think it's going to work over here, but it causes the illusion that the coin is like a 3D effect. And you're supposed to grab it like this because it's so shiny that anything can kind of scratch it. Let me see if I can demonstrate... you know, let me see if it works. I'm not sure because this one here in particular became, you know, I guess the moisture over time or... But I do have several of these in store. Let me see. So you would put a coin in the center. You grab the top, put it on. And if you look, I don't know if you could see it. You see how the coin... Yeah, actually, you could see it a little bit. Oh, it slid, but... but you actually look... When you look at it, and you look at it from my point of view like this... It looks like the coin is right here. You're going to grab it, and obviously there's nothing there because there's a mirror effect that causes the coin to look 3D. Now, they have sold different variations of this item as time has gone by. And anyway, Johnson Smith sold this, I guess, for over 30 years they had this. I don't know how well it's sold. I know that when I had my magic shop, I bought several dozen of them, and still have a couple that I might actually put up for sale soon. I don't know if you guys remember Avon when we were little. You always bought the Avon, and you know they had the replica toys and stuff. Well, this Avon here, I've had since I was probably like 10 years old. It was actually given to me when I did my first communion in my church. But see, it still has the original perfume on it, and there it is. Looks like one of those revolvers from the past. Forgot what it's called. They don't call this a Derringer. They call it a pepper box pistol. I guess 1850 pepper box pistol. But it's still in the original box. You can tell. You see the age, early 70s. And of course, I've moved from storage to storage over the years, and a lot of my stuff over time are showing wear and tear. You know. Now, this bank I'm going to show you, I bought several. I got them. They're kind of not all together because I've kind of became an expert in repairing this bank. It was one of my favorites. So what I did with this is that I took it apart because I repaired it. But I just wanted to show you. This is called the Haunted House Mystery Bank. That usually the doors open up and the ghost comes and gets the coin. That I said that there is a version like this out there somewhere that a hand comes out. I've never seen it. I think I saw it in a photo one time. I mentioned that there is enough evidence that it existed. And people that have had it have told me about it. They had it. I have not come across one yet. And trust me, I've done a big research on this. The reason I have the different things because I wanted to show you. See, this one here, the roof is slightly, different. I don't know if you can see, but one is a little lighter than the other. And then, of course, they're all in repair because I'm actually repairing all of them. And when I mean repair, even if it was working fine, I put the little thing underneath the ghost again so that the coin comes out, the little sponge area. And I also changed the battery compartment. I put a new motor in it so that it works perfect. And this one here, if you can see, has a darker roof. But I have about 8 of these, and I have 2 that are original in the box. Those I haven't even touched. this duo on eBay between 180 to 420 in a box, could go as high as 450. I have come across quite a few because I love the product. To me, this product is probably one of the best ever made. This is one of the things that I love, like the 7-foot Ghost. This is one product that, and as you could see, I get them cleaned up. I mean, I'm talking about soap, water, everything. Like, this gets really clean, no rust. They're in pretty pristine condition, And then what I do, this one, the little broken piece up here in the roof, what I did is I actually created the little piece to repair this one, but I haven't put it on because it's still a project in the making. Now, I'm going to show you now a couple of the books. Let me show you some books before I continue with the toys, because I have a lot of stuff to show you guys today. One of the books that I found in this collection too as well, some books that are interesting in their way, and I'll explain why. This one says The Secret Book Safe. Now, this book is the answer to companies in the late 80s that could not come back with the original book safe because they were not available anymore. So this is from the company Brad's Fun Shop, I think it was. And they appeared in money, magazines like the wrestling magazines and stuff. And instead of having an actual book safe, what they did to improvise is they showed you how to make one, and had the plans here. And I just kind of noticed something that I think, Todd, if you're watching this, see, this is one of the ads in the center. This is an ad that they used to run in comic books and all that stuff. But one thing I found interesting is, people that have heard the podcast we've done, that you heard of Todd. He's a good friend of mine who's helping us out a lot in what we're doing. He's actually partnered with us. But here is an ad for the Sea Monkeys from Brad's Fun Shop. See? This is like in the mid-'80s, I guess. And I guess, Todd, this here is interesting. I think you would be interested in that product. This Easy Magic catalog is also a catalog that was done by D. Robbins. D. Robbins is more like a wholesaler and stuff. So if you had a magic shop or you had a business mail order, you would be able to get these catalogs and just put your name and address in the front. So a lot of people, when they see Easy Magic, the name catalogs on eBay and stuff, they're all generic catalogs that you would be able to use if you had a mail order business or something. Now, this is a book that is not in the greatest condition, but it's called, see, you can see the top there and the binding here over time has come distorted. But this book here is, it was done around the turn of the century, and I think it actually the date on it is probably late 1800s. I think it deals with disproving. It was published by the Bird Company in Chicago, New York and Chicago, whatever it says here. I don't see the date on it. Oh yeah, sorry. Copyright in 1932. So this is definitely a first printing of Spook Crooks. So this, I guess what it does, it debunks the spiritualist movement that was in the early century that a lot of people like Houdini were trying to debunk because of all the frauds within the sector, and they were ripping off people. And I guess a lot of magicians felt like they needed to expose them. Here is a book. This one's still sealed. I have 2 copies of this book. It's kind of very rare, and sometimes sell for like $200 to $300, give or take. It's called The Ghost. Now, what this is, it's a history of the Pepper's Ghost, which is a famous magic trick, and it's used in a lot of amusement parks and stuff where originally it was used in the 1900s when they would have the lady that transforms into a gorilla or a guy, where you would see a person sitting in the audience, and then this person will be tied down to a chair, and then slowly that you will see the transformation from, whatever product. It could be a gorilla or a man to a wolf man, whatever. But here is the story of that particular magic trick and how it was developed. It's called The Ghost. So it's a really, really nice book. I still actually never opened it. I have like 2 more copies of this book and one in kind of paperback. This is hardcover. Now, this book here is called Things and Aliens. It's filled with all, like the lobby cars and stuff from, movies, sci-fi movies and horror films of the 1950s and 60s. And it's beautiful because every page in this book, and it's a big book, as you can see, look, I'm holding it. It's like 13 inches, whatever. Along with that, I found this invention and technology. Now, what makes this unique, look who's in the cover, Maxwell Smart. Now, this was a great show. I love this show, growing up in it. Very fascinating show, and that's a nice magazine there. Now, this magazine is, because I used to love like the Polaris submarine and all that stuff. This is the story of a submarine, the atomic submarine and whatever. It's a hardcover edition, but what makes this book very unique is still has the original record by Walter Cronkite in the back here. As you can see, it's never, there's the vinyl record. I've never taken it out of its sleeve or even played it, but it's in really beautiful condition. This is probably, 1961 by Columbia House. I have here, this is just a bunch of the ads that I've collected. It's funny, you can see I haven't opened this, that whatever card this is, it's kind of stuck into the plastic here. This looks like, I don't know, I'm just kind of curious to see what it is. If I can get it out. Oh no, this is a friend of mine who was a professional clown. I used to use him back when I had my magic shop, and people wanted parties. So that's an interesting, I wonder if he still has the number. And here I have a collection of ads, like photocopy. Here's American Circle. Here you have, American Circle again, and an early Honor House catalog. If you see the wording here for the ghost is a little more like in debt, gives you a lot more details in this particular ad. And then again, it's the same thing. I just thought I'd show because I found this among there. And, I did go on to, see, here's smaller versions that actually I put out when I had my magic shop. And here is, some of the mail order ads. And the reason I actually bought this out because I wanted to show you guys. The first ad for the 7-foot ghost wasn't this one, but this is the first company that invented it. It says here, John Cook. John Cook was the first guy that actually sold the ghost, and this is like probably 1965. From him, Johnson Smith, Melton Company, they all came from him. Honor House, but he did pretty well with it. He sold it for a couple of years. Here is, again, the ad a little larger because, of course, I blew it up a little larger there, see? And I just want to show that because, and here's that other famous ad, you can float on air. Who can remember this ad, see? This ad here was in Boy's Life magazine probably over 30 years. And who didn't want that, Here is one item that appears in Mail Order Mysteries. How to Draw Monsters. This is an original ad there, see? These are the ads from Boy's Life magazine. But here's what I wanted to tell you guys. Again, I've said it before, and I'm still hoping that somebody can someday help me find this. That's the Monster Robot Plans by the Melton Company that I've never found. And if you guys remember the plans on how to build your own mini bike and stuff. Now, it's cut up here because it's actually folded to the other side. So I'm not going to take it out because I have a few things, more things to show you guys. Okay, this is the Melton Company ghost. You see that? And here is a version of the the robot plants I was trying to do one time, but I never finished and never went through it. Okay. This ad here, I'm going to bring out this original set, the tricorder, the phaser gun, and the communicator. This was very famous. This is a Johnson Smith company. And do you guys remember the air car? This air car down here is the one that Johnson Smith and the Penn radio. The air car, it appears, I think I gave one to Kirk as well. It appears inside Mail Order Mysteries. You'll see a picture of it there. Oh, and look what's here. Here we have our friend, the 6-foot Frankenstein. This is the original one, of course. See, there's a photo of it there. And Mr. Bones. This was actually one of my products I was selling a while back. It's a dancing skeleton. But anyway, I had this other thing here. I don't really think as much. It's just more like personal pictures and stuff. But I just thought I'd show this. Nice photo of the Addams family there. This is an actual photograph, actually. And then we have here George Reeves, the real Superman, right? We all know that, right? I don't know if you all agree with me, but I agree. He's the best. Now, among the other books, I came across this Monsters book. It's in, okay condition. It's not 100%. The year, see, the binding there, of course, is a little loose. I'm not sure the year of this, but we're looking authorized first series, first edition, I guess. I don't know. 1965. So this is probably definitely the first edition. And it's the Monsters. Okay, this was in my collection here. Now, I'm going to show you some really interesting things now. Because I know Joe, this is probably the thing that attracts Joe, my co-host in the podcast, House of the Unusual Radio. That by the way, we're on iTunes as of about a week and a half ago. So if you go to the iTunes, it's all one word, House of the Unusual. Don't put spaces. House of the Unusual Radio, and you'll be able to catch up with the latest episodes. In fact, there's one episode there that we interview Craig Taubeck. We have an upcoming episode that we're going to interview Catherine Chen. She's the girl that appeared, the actress that appeared in the movie Safe with Jason Statham in 2012, I think it was, or 2015. We interviewed her. She's a fabulous person. And I could say that, she was great. Right after that, we had another podcast, which is coming a day or two later, which is Todd, and he's giving his insight on the history of the sea monkeys, since he is, believe it or not, the expert on that. I learned a lot from Todd. We both come from the same background, the same history. We met the same people. The only thing for him, just like the 7-foot ghost was important for me, for him it was the sea monkey. So, of course, that became what he gravitated to. And he started amassing and buying probably every sea monkey product in the face of the earth. But Joe Pavlich, this is what he likes, the x-ray glasses. And I just want to show you, this were my original. These are the ones that I waited for in the mail. Anyway, as I go forward, I want to show some rare items. I came across a couple of these. Now, these are not super old. These are probably from the 80s, 90s, or mid-2000s. But this one is the Creature. Now, I'm showing this fast because I have the whole collection of these, but in different boxes. So I'm going to show you the ones that appear in the box here because, here I have, of course, this is the Phantom of the Opera. This one here. I have, and this one, obviously, I've opened because this is, a favorite guy of mine. So this is Frankenstein there in the box, but of course he's moving around because he's not tied to the back. Now, here is this one. I think it was bought to me by my daughter. This is another version of Frankenstein. I guess Frankenstein collectible figures. It's nice, but it does have kind of like a funny looking head, I'm kind of more like old-fashioned. So I like it because it's like a cartoon of him, but I'm not. And I know Jack Davis is the best-selling poster I ever sold, but the actual Jack Davis Frankenstein, yeah, if you like Mad Magazine, you gravitate that way. It's great. As a kid, I didn't really like it. I liked the green one that looked like Frankenstein, But here's the story, and this is the reason I showed you those monsters. I went through a thrift shop, I don't know, back probably 2005, 2007. And I saw this silver screen editions of the monster. So I bought this one here, which is the Wolfman. I bought, and the funny thing about it is the crazy price I paid for it. Now, this is Lon Chaney, his father. This is Lon Chaney Jr., This is Lon Chaney Sr., also known as the guy with 1,000 faces. He's the original Phantom of the Opera. Well, he did a film back in the early 1900s, which is called London After Midnight. And I kind of like this one, this figure in particular, because it's really cool. You see how he looks there scary and stuff. The actual film was lost. I think it was burnt in Hollywood. There was a big fire. They made a film of London After Midnight, but they used the still photos from the movie. So they took photos and made a moving picture, but it's actually not the real film. Like if you found a film of this, you probably have $1 million on your hands. The interesting things about this particular models, or I mean items, is the fact, and here he is as the creature. Now, when I bought this, I think it was interesting because they really didn't know what they were selling, and I bought each of them for $12 each. Now, here is what I wanted to show you. Let me just put it here because I don't have any space. I'm showing my friend the pictures, and he says to me, did you realize that it's autographed in the back? They're autographed by the original artist who did them. And I was like, what? So when I look back, it's the name of the artist is Oluf W. Harvinston, I think it is. See, there's his name right there. Can't really pronounce that, but he signed it. Now, not all three are signed. Only the Wolfman. I guess they picked the better one, the more popular one, I guess, right? But each of these figures, when I went home, they were actually selling on eBay for about $400 each. And the one that was signed, which the Wolfman, somebody else had one. He was asking, I think, like $550. And believe it or not, it had a bid on it. So that I thought was one of those little finds that I had to bring it up because I wanted to show you guys how sometimes you can go to a flea market and get those lost treasures you don't even know they exist. But anyway, this are my silver edition monsters, and I'm sure Joe, I'm sure you like what I'm showing now because that's your collection. Now, I did forget one of them here, by the way. Here is the Bride of Frankenstein. Now, I have the whole set. I have the silver edition, this one, because when they came out back in the, I don't know when they came out, in the 90s, 80s? 1991, it says here, 90. I can't even see, honestly. Whatever. I did buy the entire sets, you know, and of course, today they go for quite a few dollars, each one of them, like in their 50s. Now, as a kid, one time I walked into it. Now, I have 3 of these, but I'm going to show you the original one because it's the one I actually opened. Here is the pet ghost. You can see the box is kind of in bad shape because, I mean, it's been with me since I was probably 9, 10 years old. You know, the item inside is immaculate because it's in really good condition. I hate to even try to open it, to be honest with you. I'm going to do it to show you guys. But depending because it's... Okay. It opened up. For a second there, I thought I wasn't going to show you guys. But anyway, it's supposed to be a little table, and they had a commercial on TV for this back in the 70s, and it showed a magic trick, which was you know, the pet ghost. That's supposed to be the table. It's like a head, and then inside there's the instructions. I've never even opened it, by the way. It's all brand new. See the little eyes you would put on there, whatever. But I kept this one because it was one of my favorite items. I mean, I have it since I was a kid, and this is what happens when you store things. I think I mentioned a story to you guys that if you ever use a plastic container, be careful. I know they look sturdy. A lot of people swear by them. If you stack them up, look what happens. You see this crushed box like this? This is because it was stacked up probably for over 2 years. When I went to see, all the plastics was crushing, and I'm telling you, the best thing is if you don't use cardboard boxes, which are heavier and sturdier. I'm talking about the ones that you buy in Staples for, you know, like files and stuff. That's good. Or use filing cabinets. Those are better. And another thing, you have to be careful when you put things in this type of plastic. And I'll tell you why. Even though I have these, I don't recommend it. I'll tell you why. I had in my house, and this is in my house, the hallway closet. I had a lot of toys stored like this. It's a closet that's about 4.5 feet deep by about 5 feet wide. It's a huge walk-in closet. And when you would take a shower and, close or leave the door of the bathroom, the humidity of the bathroom would kind of go, and this is like 4 feet over. It wasn't like right smack in front of the bathroom door. One day I went to check, and to my surprise, there was like moisture, or the moisture got stuck inside the plastic. And it goes, if you ever been to a flea market in the summertime when it's super hot and people have CDs and DVDs on the floor and you could see moisture in them, that's also dangerous. So plastic like this, great for comic books, but you have to be careful with the environment. Sometimes it's better to let the item breathe and have some type of airflow, because if not, that could be dangerous. Now, I found this one here too. This one here is How to Host a Murder. Now, what's beautiful about this box is, look who's on the cover there. Vincent Price, see? Beautiful images of Vincent Price. So, obviously, I didn't care for the box. I was not like a murder mystery person, but I had to get it because it had Vincent Price, okay? Now, this is an item that I think Joe had a magazine cover, which he did, honestly, but I have a feeling he took this cover from me. See, same cover, but it's actually, I'm sure a lot of you guys recognize this. It's a box set, and when you open it, there you go, see? It has a Batman book, special edition, and it has a Batman, the first Batman with the big ears. Hold on a second. I thought this actually, okay. So it has a Batman book, special edition, first issue. And then it has this Batman here with the big ears. You see the action figure? Actually, it's a little tough to open this one in here. See, I thought actually, because I have another one like this, but it has the 3 Batman figures. I thought it was this one actually. You see? This is the, I don't know if you can see the Batman with the big ears. And it's, it's like an 8-inch action figure. That's real cool. So this one is what it is. And I took it out of the kit. Nice, huh? I think it was attached to it. It has a book about Batman. I'm assuming this book has the history. I'm not going to open it too much because, it is sealed, and, over time, see what's happened here. It kind of, that doesn't rip 100%. But anyway, I thought this kit, I have had it here in my office and display for a while. I thought it was like 3 Batmans, because, see, I have one of Batman too, but now I'm wondering where it is. But you see this one here, this is of Superman. But what this kit does is when you open it up, it shows Superman in throughout the ages. You have the 3 action figures of Superman, real action figures, like the first Superman, the one in the middle, 70s, and then the newer one, see? And it shows here the different, comic books and whatever. So I have a set like this that is of Batman. And I actually thought it was just a set I just showed you guys tonight. Now, when I was growing up, next to my school, there was a store, a candy store. In the candy store, they used to sell kites. And one kite that made me drool, I always wanted it, man. I thought it was the best kite they ever made, was the Sky Spike kite by Gala. Gala's the name of the company. Here it is, see? The Spy Sky. This was my favorite kite. And then they also made a bat. It was called the Baby Bat, which is this one. See, they're sealed. And then, of course, the Night Stalker. Now, the Night Stalker, back in the 70s, when I was a kid, every kid had a CB, a Citizens Band radio. And the Night Stalker was actually my name on the CB, Night Stalker. And because of that, I actually got this kite because, that's what made me pick the name of the time. So I'm showing you these kites were also in that case that I showed you there. Now, another item that I have here, because this particular item is really cool. It's big, so I kind of put it on the side here, but it's a motorized game, and it's called It from the Pit. This is early 80s, I think. trying to give the actual date on this. I'm not sure. It's, I don't know, 80s or Milton Milton Bradley did it. But it's a motorized game, and it's nice. I just love the box. Look at the creature coming out of the swamp, you know? It from the pit. And I love the name too. Now I'm going to show you guys, because I said I would show rare items. I showed you a book here, like Spooks, Crooks, whatever, which I'm sure is worth a good $1. I'm not even sure how much, but and the ghost. But I'm going to show you guys an item here that is mint. It's from the 50s. The person that I got this item from had paid $500 and something for it way back in the 80s. Now, gotta be careful here moving the chair. Don't want to crush. This item that you see here is in this box, and I have it stored in the box with another kite, which was it's like a bat. You see, it's like some type of bat kite, or I don't know. It's a brand new kite that I have in there, and it's called the Giant Playmate. This is in mint condition. It's a box unopened, you know, from Whitman. It's a giant robot made of cardboard. It's about 4 feet tall. If you go online and Google robot with kid or cardboard robot, you're gonna see this robot. Some kid has it in his lawn. I've seen the picture, but Art Linkletter is in the bottom here. He's the one that's recommending this toy. Anybody who's in their late, I guess, 60s, whatever, might remember this, because this is way before my time. But it's a nice item, you know, because of my love for robots, because I couldn't get the plans. I gravitated to anything that was robot, and I started buying a lot of robot stuff. Now, this item, this is one of my rare collectibles that is worth a lot of money. I'm not sure what it's worth today. Probably over $1,000 easy. I haven't taken it out of the box. It's actually sealed. And I do have another plastic over it. But this item here is original, and it's called the Giant Playmate. Look it up. You won't see it on eBay, and when it does show up on eBay, it's going for over $1,000. Okay, so this is one item that I wanted to show you guys. Something's coming out of the box. I have to make sure that it goes back in there for whatever reason. See, that's what you have to be very careful when you store things, because when you run out of space and you buy and buy, it kind of becomes, collecting becomes an obsession, and before you know it, you don't know what in the world you've come across. I think this robot was also called the Roger robot or something like that. It was the Whitman Roger robot. I'm just seeing some notes that I have in here. And it's funny because I do have telephone numbers there too. Probably from where I obtained it. Been in my collection for many, many years. So that goes back where it was there. So I think this closes another week of unboxing. And I've shown you guys quite a few things. And again, you know, things that I had that I kept for all these years, like the little x-ray glasses here. You know? There you go, Todd. Take a shot of that, because I know you're going to do it. See? Todd's been making fun of me when I put on a pair of glasses, and you can find it if you go to the website. He made a mock-up of me as an ad, you know. I thought it was great. You know, Todd is the best, man. Him and Joe and Dave Harborside, man, they're awesome people. I'm going to tell you guys, again, I mentioned in the last show last week, I think, but I'm going to say it again. Myself and David, we started a company. Well, we're about to actually launch a company in early January. And then because of COVID-19, everything came to a halt. We did manage to produce a couple of items, and we're still in the process of, doing the company, whatever. And we did reproduce the 7-foot Frankenstein, the green one from the comic books. We reproduced the Hypno coin. We reproduced an alien orb that is being sold by David in Amazon. And we reproduced a haunted house barometer. Or, those are those houses that a lot of us in our mid-50s, whatever, when we were kids, our parents usually had this little house, especially if you lived in New York City, almost everybody had them. And what happened with the house is it was sold by Harriet Carter, Hanover House, all the mail order companies of the 70s. And it has a guy on one side and a girl on the other. And what it does is when it rains, the guy comes out with an umbrella. And when it rains, the girl comes out with a little basket of flowers, okay? We made that version in a haunted house version. It's not the greatest looking product, I gotta be honest with you. It was very hard to get it done in China. And the reason for that is because when you give China an idea, it's going to be stolen. So we didn't want to do that, and we didn't want people to do it. So we had to kind of take it in parts, And what I mean by parts is the company produced the house and stuff, and then we had to have another company put like the little tombstones and stuff in front of it. We never got to do a box for it because we got it late last October. So we really could only sell I think we sold like 2 or 3 of them. And we have a total of about 150. Once sold, it's never going to be done. So, and we were going to sell them for like $59 because it cost us a lot of money to produce. So we're going to settle in just making our money back. So if you're interested, I think the price on it is going to be $29.99. I'm going to run an ad on eBay just to get rid of them and one on my website. The difference is if people on eBay see it, they're going to pay like $5 more than if they buy it directly from my website and save me eBay fees. Because eBay kills you with the fees. They're going to be gone. Once that's not going to be made again. I might keep one version for myself. David might keep one for himself. But we're getting rid of them, and it's not going to be made again. So my suggestion is anybody who might like to grab a thing, an item that is a one-time thing, here's your opportunity because we're not doing it again, okay? Saying that, again, we have a new episode coming. Well, there was an episode that aired this Wednesday. They just passed. And it's the last episode we had is an interview with David Harversat, which is now, of course, going to partner with us and continue doing episodes, just like Todd is. It's a very good episode. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Gives you a little bit of the history and background of the S.S. Adams Company. We also interviewed, that is coming for next Wednesday, but I might do, this is going to be as a special. We interviewed Catherine Chen, which is the girl that appeared, again, as I said a few minutes ago, in Safe with Jason Staton back when she was 11 in 2012. Right after that, the episode for next Wednesday, we're going to have the one with Catherine Chen in the middle, probably Monday morning. On Wednesday at 3 p.m., same as usual, the same channel is going to have one that we're going to be with Todd. It's me, Joe, and Todd, and we're going over the history of the sea monkeys, how throughout the years they've changed, and it was a fun show. It was fun making it. It's great. Now, guys, I know a lot of people have gone to houseoftheunusual.com and have become subscribers because my subscription list is really big. Houseoftheunusual.com was reintroduced again about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. The website was started again, and I changed my old website that I've had for about 20 years. The products that are listed there, I'm adding a few each week, but I'm concentrating more in building the audience right now through the podcast. And again, I just received the equipment, so my sounding and recording has not been the greatest because we don't have nothing. We couldn't get microphones. We couldn't get no podcasting equipment. It was crazy. I finally received everything. I got my microphones about 4 or 5 days ago. I'm going to set up shop in a nice little studio format so that when the podcast is done, you're going to get excellent sound quality. You got to forgive us because of the reason that the ones we've been doing, have a lot of crackling, kind of misses. But you know what? It's better to get it done than do it none at all. Because if we don't do any at all, you guys are not going to hear nothing. So please don't give us a chance with the sound quality, because please don't judge us on it, because it's not done on purpose. It's done because we don't have the equipment other than what we have on board to work with it, okay? That's going to change in the next probably 2 weeks, because I do need a time zone to, come up with an area where I can put all the equipment in. Again, what I was saying, a lot of people have subscribed to the channel. I would really want to ask you guys to become a member of the channel. And what I mean by a member is you're going to be able to write for the forum. You're going to be able to edit and put things on the blog. And, it's going to be fun if we can interact with you guys to see what you guys want to see and watch, or what you guys want products or whatever made. We'll do that. In our podcast, we talk about magic tricks, collectibles. We also go a little bit into flying saucers, and we're going to be going into the Yeti, the Bigfoot, in a couple of upcoming episodes. So it's going to be fun. Definitely tune in. It's every Wednesday at 3 p.m. When you look us up on YouTube, I believe Spotify, Anchor, I think we are right now on 7 different platforms. The only thing you need to do is when you type out House of the Unusual, it's all one word. You can do House of the Unusual, 4 separate words, you're not going to find it. But if you put it all, it's going to be there. Subscribe to the channel, listen to the channel. Even if you don't subscribe to it, help us out, please. Because this way we can get the word out to you guys. Because the difference between the YouTube channel and the podcast, because a lot of times if you ask people to be guests, if you tell them to appear on YouTube, people get scared of the camera. Not everybody, but a lot of people are like, can we? In a podcast, I tell you, get on your phone, get to a quiet room. We're going to interview you. You're bound to say yes. So that's why the podcast is so important. So that we can get, to meet and talk with a lot of professionals in the industry. As time goes by, I might even start putting them on YouTube, with some background items or novelties going through, so that you have a visual, movie or something, but you're going to hear the podcast on YouTube. I haven't done that yet because it's, like I said, one step at a time. I gave both Joe and Todd a different page. What I basically did is I created for them a blog, attached it to houseoftheunusual.com. If you go across the top and you hit the little thing that says more, you'll see it says one is Crypt of Classics, which is for Joe, which what Joe does is he take what he's done for years on Facebook, he transferred everything over to that page. He's actually working on it. So you're going to see, as time goes by, you're going to see more and more, posts and stuff there. And he's got a pretty decent following. He had like almost 700-800 people that followed that Crypt of Classic fan page. And then I gave Todd made a whole series called Gullibles Babbles, which is his growing up and his life stories dealing with the sea monkeys, what he expected in the mail, what he didn't get. It's an interesting read. I think you'll enjoy his column as well. And again, we're all working for the same thing, the same goal, which is to have a large following, a large audience on House of the Unusual. And then, as everything gets, you will be creating new items. And it's keeping alive a tradition that I'm the last one doing. Once House of the Unusual goes out of business, there's no more mail order companies from the 70s. And remember, I used to have the original Fun Factory. So House of the Unusual migrated from the Fun Factory that was a 1970s company to the present day. I've always kept it alive, either as a hobby or whatever, but I've kept the tradition of novelty items from the 70s alive. Unless you guys help us out, and what I'm saying by help, I'm not asking, what I'm saying is to join the channel, to spread the word, repost us, introduce us to your friends on Facebook, Instagram. We're going to die out. And if we die out, you're not going to have that fun channel to come to again and to look at all these crazy products. And another thing that I'm going to tell you guys is, in the next couple of weeks, I'm not sure when it's going to start, but I'm actually going to start selling individual items that I have, collectible items, because I need to downsize. My collection is just too large and it goes all over the place. I have superheroes, magic and novelties. Yes, I do have every novelty from comic books, except for the 7-foot robot plants. Everything else I have, and very few items I'm missing. So I will show you those classics. I will be more than happy to. Now, I was going to show the instructions for the original 7-foot ghosts from the Melting Company and stuff. And I'm going to tell you ahead, I didn't take them out right now because they were a little hard to get to tonight. I'll show them next week, but I'm only going to show you the front. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I want to see the... No, I reproduce the 7-foot ghost. I've been doing it for 35 years. If I show you the original back set of instructions and somebody wants to just, a professional artist or something, say it and do it, they are going to start taking the original item and destroying the value of it, because a lot of people out there are going to start fraudulently reproducing item and passing them off as original. As long as you don't know what the back looks like, as long as I always make a slight change in any product I reproduce, I can tell it's a fake. It's not an original, so it's not going to devalue the original. It's going to give you the chance of owning the original, but with a slight variation. Say, for example, the 7-foot Frankenstein, the original is a plastic version. We offer you a photo quality version. Same item, but you're not going to sell it off, oh, this is from 1970. It wouldn't be fair. I don't think anybody out there would like to buy a product that is not an original and be sold as if it's original and pay a crazy amount of money for it. A good example, I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. Many years ago, somebody bought a 7-foot ghost from me that they paid, I think at the time I used to sell them for like $850, and they put it on eBay for $100 and something, saying original reproduction from the 1970s. When I caught on to it, I actually called eBay and told them, I physically called them, because back then you can actually connect with them. And like today, it's hard to even get a live person. But I called them, and I told them that they said to me, well, how do you know that? I said, because I'm the guy that produced the item. I've been selling the item. I sent them. At the time, I actually faxed them a copy of my original instruction that I made, and they took the guy off, because the guy was just being whatever he was, I don't... Just like the Hypnocoin. What was scary is that the Hypnocoin, when it was reproduced with the original pamphlet, it's hard to say it's not original. It's exactly as the original. In fact, it was scary how good it came out. But I'll tell you what makes a difference in case anybody tries to sell you one that's a fake. Mine says Acme House Novelties in the back, and it's the size of a 50-cent piece. It's about 2.5 inches around. The original is between a quarter and a 50-cent piece. So the original is maybe a 1/4 inch smaller than the one I sell you. So please don't let anybody fool you out there. We sell them for $29.99 because they cost a lot to produce. Okay? It's not a cheap item. Neither is the paper that it's printed on. But if somebody tries to sell, like somebody actually contacted David, and they offered him, like, I think it was, I don't know, when he was selling, they were trying to offer him to buy all 4 at one time and stuff. And I said, well, what happened? David said, no, I explained to them that it's not an original. It's a reproduction of the original. And it's the same quality. It's actually a little better because the original, which Todd knows the story. I had it in my hand about 2 weeks ago. I showed it to him. I did a video. And I said, hey, look at this. The original was so simple, man. And there are some like that look like mine that are more, because they had more photographs to do the the spinning image on it, so they were made more lenticular than the. But an original 1970s one, like 1969 one, that I have, you can tell it's nowhere near as good as the one we made. But I put it inside a book because it had kind of curved a little bit. I wanted to flatten out. I put it next to my bed. It disappeared. I have no idea where the heck it went. It's there. I need to find it because I wanted to show you guys. And I told Todd, thanks a lot, buddy. You made me lose another item. But that's what happens when you have so much stuff. It disappears. And the worst part is, I had a fire that destroyed 4 of my storages. Okay, and it took me years to bring back the stuff I have. Of the original 15 plus Aurora monsters that I had in mint condition, only 6 survived. And then I had to recuperate copies and stuff. I lost in that storage fire a huge number of my collectibles. Floods. One time the closet in my house had a flood from upstairs. They had a pipe hole. I don't know where it was in one of the pipes. And the stuff just freaking flooded my whole floor. Thank God I put everything high. But again, things can happen. You have to be careful. I need to downsize because when my collection is this large, I mean, I have here, this area here is 30 feet long or 34 foot long by 28 feet wide. And as you can see out there, you can't even walk with the boxes. I have a 10 by 12 foot storage that is close to the very door with boxes. What do I have in there? Every time I open a box, it's like, wow, look what I have. A lot of times I'll buy the same thing over, not even realizing I have it. I have things, for example, I have an autographed John Glenn photo by him of the Mercury 7 thing. I have over 30 original French version posters from the movies, original 1950s and 1940s. From everything from Planet of the... They're worth a lot of money, all of them. And I don't even know what to do. First of all, they're 57 by 63 inches. You can't even frame them. They're so huge. You need a warehouse to even put them up there. So what am I doing with them? Nothing. They're folded away. Crazy. In 1995, when I had a fire, I had a filing cabinet. Not the filing cabinets. I don't have one here, but the drawer pulls like this, but the ones that are long, like the doctors use to put files along like this. And in there, I had over 30, Johnson Smith catalogs from the 70s. And I had a 6-foot poster of King Kong. That's, I think it's 75 feet, 75 inches by 54 inches. It's huge. I actually had displayed him in my store for over 3 years. It was the best poster I actually had. He's over the city of New York like that with both hands in the air. My friend Joe was just able to get one on eBay, so I know he's excited today because he's a King Kong lover. I was able to get mine after 10 years because somebody in the storage after the fire, they told me to go clean up. I went in there, saw my unit, everything was intact. The wall was caving in a little bit. A person that worked in the storage facility, which I know because one of the workers told me, could never prove it. I thought it was maybe a fireman. They went into my unit the following day and stole everything from that drawer. They took 30, and if this person is ever hearing, thanks a lot, buddy. They took 30 or more Johnson Smith catalogs from me, and they stole my poster. It took me literally almost 20 years to recuperate that poster in mint condition. Yeah, I have it, but it still bothers me. And we were joking today because I said to Joe, I said, Joe, you know that my poster had my name in back of it. Because I wrote it when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I paid $1.50 for that poster, by the way. And in the same candy store where I bought those, kites that I mentioned before. But what happened is that it was in marker. It says J, my first name, which is Jesus. I call myself Eddie. Everybody in my family calls me Eddie because I don't like people make fun of the Lord's name. So they'll call, hey, you're Jesus, So I just say Eddie, okay? But it says J. Guevara, my last name on it. And he said, imagine when I get the poster in a week if it says your name on it. I said, Joe, that would be hilarious. But yeah, my poster went missing. The person that took it knows it. it didn't burn in the fire. I saw it a week later. I was going to retrieve it. And one of the workers that lived there, that worked there, said to me that another worker, it was a female, had been in there going in and out of the storage. And they do I've watched them a lot of times when they do flea markets, and I'm hoping for one of my products to show up one day. Because I know what I had, and I usually mark my stuff in a corner or not. So anyway, that was the kind of a story that I wanted to tell you guys, and that's it. Until next week, guys, please, again, go to houseoftheunusual.com. Become a member. Not just subscribe if you can. I'm not using your name for anything. I'm not sending you whatever. Become a member so that you can partake of the forum and the blog. If you don't want to, then subscribe, and I'll send you newsletters and stuff. And remember, we're bringing back Go Ship Times in the next couple of weeks. And Joe is going to be taking that, and Todd is actually putting it together for us. I'm just going to be distributing the thing, but they're going to be doing most of the work for it. It's coming out fabulous. It's a great item. In fact, I don't want to really... I'm going to show an idea of what it might look like. Huh? But it comes packaged. I don't want to show too much because it's not finished yet. Okay? I just have a sample here. It's a mini magazine, but it's going to come with, like I said, in an envelope with certain things like photographs never published, or either UFOs, Bigfoot. It's going to be a fun packet. We're still not sure 100% how we're going to distribute this. Maybe it's going to be for people to subscribe to our channel once we hit 1,000 subscribers and we're able to monetize. And say, for example, help us through Pantheon, whatever that is, at $5 a month or something. We might send those packets, which is going to cost about $5 to produce and send. But, what I'm saying is, that's going to be to a limited audience, whatever. We're not sure how we're going to even do it yet. But having said that, guys, thank you for another week that you've taken the time to listen to my podcast and my YouTube channel thing. As I said, every Friday, I'm going to post it either Friday night, Saturday, but between the weekend, before Monday, you can look at my channel and you will get a new video of unboxings. I already showed you what I have this week. Next week, I'll do another one. And you will see as they progress, the more items, like, the original 6-foot Frankenstein, it's the original box, the Dracula. I know where they are, but man, it's tough to get to them. You know what I mean? You got to give me time. Because right now, it's going to take me, it's almost 2 in the morning where I'm at. That's the time that's best that I can do it. And right now, by the time I put away all the stuff I just took out, it's going to take me another hour or two, okay? So I'm unboxing things I haven't seen in years, taking it out, and I'm going to start. And in fact, if you guys see anything on my show, you want to write me and say, hey, do you want to sell that? Let me know. Because I'm going to downsize. And till next time, good night.